Hey everyone, welcome to my video on how to make a steak. I'm making this video because a friend of mine told me how he made a steak and it actually hurt my feelings. It was that bad. For this video, we're going to be making a New York strip steak. To get started, take the steak out, throw it on a cutting board, pat it dry, generously season with salt and pepper while you preheat your pan on medium-high. Some people like to put oil in their pan when they cook a steak. However, I like to put a thin layer of oil on the steak. That's why it looks wet, even though I told you to pat it dry. Once the pan is ripping hot and the steak is at room temperature, we're going to put this fat side down to render out some of the fat. It should sound exactly like this. As you can see, after only a few seconds, the fat from the strip of fat on the steak is streaming out and starting to pool on the edge of the pan. After a minute or so of cooking on that strip of fat, we're going to put the steak on its side. When you do that, you should get the same sizzle as you did before, and you want to press across the steak to get as much surface contact as you can. You can see the nice color on that strip of fat, and when you're cooking steak, know that color equals flavor. I'm going for medium rare here, so I only cooked it for about 2 minutes on that side, and when you flip it, it needs to look exactly like this. That crust right there is exactly what you want. After about 30 seconds of searing on the other side, you can turn your heat down to about medium-low and start getting your seasonings ready. For this, it'll be butter, rosemary, and garlic. That simple. First, we're going to throw in the butter to get that melted. I'm using unsalted, followed by rosemary and your garlic. I have garlic powder. Normally I'd use 2 or 3 garlic cloves. Let those flavors mingle for about 30 to 45 seconds, and then we're going to let the basting begin. Tilt your pan to pull all that butter and flavor. When you scoop up some of the butter, this is what it should look like, kind of that nut brown flavor. Then just start flipping it all over the steak, covering that steak in some juicy, delicious flavor, while also cooking the steak from both sides. Get a clean cutting board ready, and you're going to take your steak out, throw it on that, and let it rest for 15 to 20 minutes. And this, to me, is the most important part, the resting. You have to let it rest. Now, with these juices and butter still sitting in the pan, you can use that to top your steak to add the flavor, or you can saute some mushrooms or vegetables in it. I'm just going to drizzle it on top of my steak, and while it rests, it can absorb all that delicious flavor from the pan. So as I said, let it rest for 15 to 20 minutes and then it's ready to serve. And that's all there is to it. It's simple as that. Hope you enjoyed.